Bronco Nation, it's Ben, Chief Outdoor Officer of the Bronco Nation. And you know, like I said this morning, we're here with Lonestar Early Bronco Club in Colorado. We've been doing a lot of off-roading the past few days, which has been really spectacular. And you know, one of the things that I've started to really understand and started to learn more about is the different community aspects within the club. And not just that, but even the specific vehicles that are being built. You know, every Bronco has a specific story to it. And I'm here with my friend Mark Domingue here. And Mark, can you give us a little bit of a story about how you came to this Bronco?
Sure. This is my 1972 Ford Bronco. I got it about 12 years ago. The purpose was to have a purpose-built rock crawler that kept the classic looks and that I could still drive on the street and take the family out in and maybe go run around the store. So I tried to kind of mix the drivability aspect but with the full off-road capability. So I came into this project, if you will, not really knowing much about the early Broncos, except I really liked them. I really liked the way they looked, and I liked the utilitarian aspect of them. And first and foremost, I wanted something that I could go out and have fun and not have to worry about the braking. Reliability was number one. So I went through and did the drivetrain, the axles, and really put the money underneath the Bronco, and before I started focusing on the rest of it, and then the little creature comforts came later.
Yeah, well, I'd love to talk about some of those creature comforts. Can we go take a look at them?
Sure, yeah. Sure, so I guess starting here, the lift off hinges, so you can take the doors off if you want to get a little air circulating when you're on the trail. Sometimes it gets hot. I really wanted to keep the classic look and feel of the Bronco from the outside, so but with the capability and the hard off-road use it has 1/4-inch plate molded into the fenders. They kind of disappear if you're not looking for them, which I like. It's kind of makes the Bronco like a sleeper. Not really sure if it's a grocery getter or an off-road, but
that's right.
You know, one of the big things comfort-wise is the noise. So I took the windows out knowing that it's going to be an open-top vehicle, and I shaved over the doors so you don't have to worry about things falling inside of it. You can rest your hand there comfortably. You don't have the window gap. So I did a custom suspension. A friend of mine that builds race cars and stuff, he got under there and he did a 3-link geometry for me to give me a little bit more articulation off-road. So I have dual shocks and coils at each wheel, which now they have coilovers, which is kind of a new school way of doing things, or RI struts maybe. But I went with the dual shocks and coils at each wheel. This is kind of more in keeping with the old school tradition, but it really helps with the articulation. And then I have a Atlas transfer case going to 35 spline, you know, 1-ton style rear end, 488 gears, Detroit lockers front and rear, and it goes pretty good. So I am running 40-inch, you know, beadlock, you know, tires on beadlock wheels, and I went ahead and I tubbed the inside and reworked the sheet metal to fit those 40-inch tires and be able to stuff them without jacking the Bronco sky high. And talking about the creature comforts and, you know, putting your own touches on things, I went ahead and while I was redoing the sheet metal back here, and the 4-link suspension system has custom shock brackets and everything, so I went ahead and added in a swivel point, so when you're pulling up to the
cool.
when you back up to the campfire,
That's
you can
right.
take the seat and swivel it back. It's got clips
That is so
to secure it in location. The kids really love this part of it.
Totally.
It's like a seesaw for them.
Wow.
So yeah, so on the interior, a couple neat features. This is a one-piece custom dash that is all one piece of sheet metal. It's pushed out a little bit because when I was building this, I didn't know all the places that you can go and get parts now and all the different modifications. And one thing that I really wanted to do was get the windshield wiper configuration out from in front of my head. So I went ahead and moved them down below the dash. So the windshield wipers on this vehicle are on the bottom, which is not typical for an early Bronco. But in order to do that, I had to build a custom dash. So you'll see that the dash is reworked, and it's a little bit different than what you would find in a stock Bronco. So I have an aluminum radiator, but one of the neat features on it is, you know, this is a built motor. It's probably putting out around 385 horsepower, and the 351s are generally a little bit more difficult to keep cool. How I got around that is I had a custom fan shroud and fan built, and this fan, what's kind of unique about it is it's belt driven. So it's not your typical electric fan that's got the motor mounted right there in the center that turns the blades. It's got a larger motor on it, and the motor's offset, and it drives the fan blades with a belt. So you can get the larger radiator and a larger motor in the same amount of space.
Wow. Hey, as I've joined you guys the past few days, it's been such an awesome experience to drive out here in Colorado and be able to drive in such great vehicles such as this, and to be able to experience the heart, the passion, and the soul that went into these vehicles. So thanks again for allowing Bronco Nation and for me and the team to be out here to be able to do this with you.
Absolutely, we love it. So thanks for being a part of it.
Thanks.